What is going on, guys? My name is The Rose, and this is the Game Corner Podcast, episode 44, which we recorded on Friday, which is a lost episode. So here we go again. I'm going to call Casey right now, and we're going to get things underway. What's up, man?
What's going?
Oh, wait. I heard you for a second there.
What's up?
Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. As soon as you first came up, the thing went, when you first said hi, the freaking screen froze.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. So, guys, I don't have a webcam, so this is kind of awkward the way I have it set up. But you see Casey there in the top right corner. You see my character image, my channel mascot representing me. The Game Corner banner on the bottom. And we got some stuff to go over. So we got some news on Far Cry 6 with the Collector's Edition that was announced. We have some news regarding Gamescom, and some of the guests already confirmed to appear. And I want to actually tie up loose ends real quick with that freaking list from last week that we finished recording.
Oh, yeah?
And when shit happened and your fucking audio wasn't recorded for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So I just want to go through that list again to tie up the loose ends. I'm not going to go over the entire list, the way we did. I'm just going to rifle through, the last 25. I'm just going to say what they were, just to get it over with, because I really don't want to look at this list again. This list was atrocious. But
it wasn't too bad, but I think the first half we did was pretty good. I think, and the second half wasn't as bad either, but...
So I'm just going to rifle through these. I'm not going to be reading the text underneath because this guy sucks at writing anyways. Real quick, number 25, Resident Evil. Number 24, Final Fantasy VIII. Number 23, Star Wars Dark Forces. Number 22, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Very good game. Number 21, Final Fantasy Tactics. Number 20, Thief, The Dark Project. Number 19, Final Fantasy IV, which is the Japanese game because we didn't get Final Fantasy IV here. Number 18, GoldenEye 007. And again, these are the top 25 games of the 1990s, by the way. Number 17, Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2. Number 16, Super Mario Bros. 3. Very fantastic game. Number 15, Grim Fandango. Number 14, System Shock 2. Number 13, Legend of Zelda Link to the Past. Number 12, Final Fantasy VI. Number 11, StarCraft. Number 10, Chrono Trigger. Number 9, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Number 8, Super Mario World, my favorite video game of all time, personally. Number 7, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Number 6, Super Mario 64. Number 5, Super Metroid. Number 4, Metal Gear Solid 1, the original one from the PlayStation. Number 3, Doom and Doom 2, tied for third place. Number 2, Final Fantasy VII, and number 1, Half-Life. So, goodbye. Once again, list, you can go fuck yourself.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't piss on this list that much. I mean, it's not that bad, actually, if you really think about it. Is it the best list of the top games of the 90s? No, but I think there's still some good titles. I mean, Half-Life deserves to be on there.
Of course, but definitely not number 1. So real quick, let me just say what happened last week. Last Friday, Casey and I attempted to record this episode of the podcast during Tropical Storm Faye was hitting my area. And for whatever reason, his audio didn't record, so I couldn't upload it, which is why what should have been episode 45 is episode 44. right now. Um, we talked about some gaming news regarding Nintendo's response to being asked about their next gen consoles. We mentioned Xbox is having their Microsoft showcase, which arguably would have been what they were going to do at E3 this year.
Mm,
That is again that is on July 23rd, so that is next Thursday, not tomorrow, but next Thursday. Casey, from what I'm hearing, they're not going to tell us the release date or the price of the new Xbox Series X yet at that
really?
at the at that that
Th-
showcase.
wow, that's weird. You figured, like, we're getting close to when they're gonna come out. I mean, you figure they would want to tell you, one, the price, and the two, the date coming out.
Right? You would think that's what they want to do, but no, they're not doing that.
It's they're pretty much putting it back in the PlayStations. Like they're just both waiting for each other to finally say, "Oh, I'm thinking once they're both scared to drop the big price sticker, like, oh, this one's going to be $600, while the other guy's going to probably turn around and say, oh, our system's 400.
Right. That's exactly what a lot of people are thinking right now. They're waiting. They're waiting for the other company to pull the trigger first, so they can come in and undercut them. Do you remember? I don't remember who PlayStation did that to once before. I think it was the Sega Saturn they did that to, or was it the Dreamcast?
It
When
was the Saturn.
Sega came out and said their console was going to be $299 or $399, I think it was.
Yeah,
And
and
then
then
and then PlayStation just comes out and they were like, they didn't say anything about their console or anything. They just
just
came out on stage and said $299, mic drop. That was it.
yep, because people know. I mean, that's a better deal. I mean, I'm sure at that time, they you would be reading about all the specs and stuff through gaming magazines. And it's kind of like if you're learning about the specs from the internet or YouTube right now.
Right. Hey Casey,
But
did you retweet the podcast the link that I tagged you in for my Twitch stream?
no, no, oh, I could do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say this, let people know we're live, so
Okay.
anyone who is interested and is still awake can find us.
Did you send it to my Twitter?
I posted it on my timeline, but I tagged you, so it should be in your notifications.
All right, give me a minute.
So we talked about that last week. We talked about Ubisoft Forward, which is their showcase that was held this past Sunday. And to be honest, I didn't watch it because I'm not really a fan of Ubisoft. I don't care too much about them, but I do have some news that we're going to get to a little later regarding Assassin's Creed, which they made their release date and they showed 30 minutes of gameplay. Also, Far Cry 6 release date and $200 collector's edition. Casey, do you want to buy a flamethrower, sir?
What?
Yeah,
Is it? They can't be a real flamethrower. It's
flamethrower.
probably. It's
Throw
got to be
flames.
some kind. No, it's got to have be just some replica of a flamethrower.
Well,
There's no.
we'll talk about
There,
that in a little bit.
there's no way they're gonna do that. But one thing I want to bring up that we talked before, if it didn't come up, because last week about Nintendo about thinking about doing the successor to the Switch. I think, like I said a couple weeks ago, that if Nintendo doesn't do the Switch Pro, or what I'm calling it, the new Nintendo Switch, uh, that doesn't come out anytime in the next no, 6 or 7 months, uh, I'm gonna say we're not gonna get it, and we're gonna be just waiting until the next version of the new Switch.
Honestly, I don't think we need one next year. I think 2022 will be a perfect time for it. By then, this coronavirus shit should definitely be over with.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a follower here. Let me play that real quick. Uh, Hold on a second. Play. I don't know why the alert's not coming up. Oh, you know what? That's why. Let me try it one more time. Yep, there we go. Don't know if it popped up on the screen, but thank you, RJB0239, for the follow on Twitch exactly 1 minute ago. So,
Well, one of the cool things this past week, I picked up Iron Man VR. Did I say something about that
I
last week or
actually,
so?
I actually asked you how you were liking it so far.
I've been enjoying it. Right now I'm dealing with stomach issue, so I really hadn't played much games except playing Fortnite on the Switch.
So how are you?
Uh,
How are you liking the game from what you've played of it so far?
oh, it's fun. I enjoy it. You could easily get um, motion sickness,
Oh, I'm sure.
but it is fun. It's a lot better with the gameplay than what they showed when they revealed it. So I was kind of hoping, but there was a demo and I tried it. I was like, oh, this seems pretty fun. So I was ready for it to come out.
I'm trying to get that thing to pop up on the screen, but I don't think it is for some reason. I tried. Sorry about that, RJ, but thanks for the follow again, mate. I don't know why it's not coming up. I have the alert set up for it to pop up when people follow, but it's just not working at the moment. Maybe it came up on the screen and I'm just not seeing it.
I don't think I saw it either.
But yeah, I've been getting over a little bit of a cough. So, I'm not actually wasn't feeling too well today either. I ate dinner last night. I had processed veal patties, which probably isn't ever a good thing to eat. And I paid for it overnight because I ended up,
Oh,
yeah, I ended up having the squirts all night long. If I slept maybe 4 hours, that's a lot. And yeah, it was pretty bad. I've been awake.
yeah.
I've been awake since 6 o'clock this morning, which is why I said I wanted to keep this podcast under, under
A
2 hours
couple
tonight
hours. Yeah.
because I'm fucking tired. But I came
Uh,
out. I came on anyway because I wanted to do this yesterday, and then I had to go out after dinner. So
yeah. I mean, it's not a big deal, you know. It's not a big deal.
what's up, Juan?
I was like, hey, when you're ready, I'm ready. Especially during the weekday, I'm more free.
Yeah,
During the weekend, it's kind of harder to get me because one, I'm with my girlfriend. Two, I might be sleeping a lot or doing stuff around the house, or I'm going game shopping.
yep. So yeah, it's pretty much everything we talked about last week. It's a damn shame that your audio didn't record because I think we had a pretty good conversation going about conventions and game stores and shit like that, man.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, it didn't record. I don't know why. I did a couple of tests prior, and everything worked, but I don't know. Maybe something in the settings just messed up. But yeah, so let's get into the first piece of news for tonight. Have you played the Uncharted games yet, Casey? I know you have a couple of them.
I do have a couple of them, but I did not play them. I
So,
mean, I picked up. I think I picked up one for the PS3, but I think it was extremely cheap that I picked it up.
you're probably just better off getting the Nathan Drake collection on PS4 because it's got the first three games on it for like 20
Because
bucks.
I got, this was $5.
And
Oh, motherfucker.
the reason I asked is because have you heard about the rumors of an Uncharted movie being filmed in the past couple of years?
Yeah,
because
I think I kind of did heard about that.
because it's finally happening.
Hmm.
The announcement, I have it right here. The announcement came via Holland's Instagram account. He shared a picture of his chair on set with the word Nate in the red Uncharted font. The caption
Hmm.
reads, Day 1 hashtag Uncharted. Unfortunately, this does mean no early reveal showing how he looks as Drake. So the actor Tom Holland, who's playing Nathan Drake, uh, posted on his Twitter about the beginning of filming for the Uncharted movie.
Why does that name sound familiar? Tom Hollands. Is that? This might sound stupid. Was that the new Spider-Man guy, or am I wrong?
I honestly don't know, but let's see. So the movie went through development hell for the past few months. Um, the Uncharted movie currently has a July 16th, 2021 release date. So pretty much exactly 1 year from right now.
Well, it's gonna be probably delayed again because this whole coronavirus happened. So, uh, I mean, a lot of good movies are being put on hold. I mean, if some of them are in the can right now, I like a bunch of the states are already getting rising up with the virus again. I think they should just put it on consoles or on smart devices. Put all these movies, and I wouldn't mind paying uh nearly movie ticket price. Or usually when I go to the movies, I pay for me and my girlfriend. So I wouldn't mind about that amount, give or take like 12, $15, give or take.
Right. And
If they,
you are correct. Tom Holland is Spider Man in the current Spider Man movies.
I thought that name sounded familiar.
I think he's an all right actor. Personally, he's not my favorite Spider Man, but he's pretty good.
Uh, Actually, I think probably he is my favorite. I mean, those other guys wasn't that great. Maybe the first one was not that bad. The second one was like, this guy's kind of seems good.
Thanks for the host, Juan. I appreciate it.
But
So,
hey,
let me just see if I can get an alert for that on here. Twitch alerts. Okay.
I probably guarantee you that movie won't come out until 2022.
Host. You don't think? You think probably 2022?
Yeah, well, think about it. All the movies are on hold.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
mean, unless they're in the can right now, they're on hold. Like certain movies are like extremely close to be done, and they're on hold because the whole coronavirus hit.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so let me see now if this will. Oh, you know what? I can't play a host. I can't play a hosting notification. That just has to pop up naturally. Anyways, sorry about that. I'm over here fucking around with stream settings, trying to get these alerts to work.
Well, I'll bring one of the things I told you I had an idea is that Nintendo's putting out, or Legos is with Nintendo's putting out something kind of interesting. I kind of want this thing,
I actually have it
but
pulled up right here. Put that on the
but
screen.
I
Bang, there you
think
go.
I think it goes for $229, but it's the Lego version of the NES. It's not only you have the NES, I think you get controllers, you get a cartridge, you get the TV, the scrolling Mario.
So I have it pulled up right here. Um, Let me see. The NES Lego will contain pieces to build a brick replica of the Nintendo Entertainment System, that includes the NES console, a retro CRT TV, a game pack cartridge to insert into the console, an NES controller and cable, and a scrolling scene from Super Mario Bros. The scene will be operated by a small hand
Crank.
crank built into the side of the TV, causing the Mario to traverse the level and jump. The controller can be plugged in, and the buttons and direction pads have tapping and pressing action. The TV set includes rotating knobs and buttons, and even replicates the RCA audio video jack common on TVs of the era. There is also a Lego Super Mario action brick that can be used with the TV and Lego Super Mario figure to play sounds from the original game.
Huh.
The the set will launch at the same time as the Lego Super Mario starter course, a mini playset that evokes a Super Mario Bros. Level in the dimensions. The starter course includes a Lego Mario and Lego Bowser Jr. figurines. The Mario figurine can be plugged into the top of the TV set to play noises from the game. Let me see here. The Lego NES playset will have 2,646 pieces.
Good God.
It is rated for ages 18 and above, and will cost $230 when it launches on August 1st, 2020. So right around the corner, just 2 weeks from now. The
Damn.
product the
Yeah.
product page is also has a longer demo, which I can't play here for copyright reasons. But this is what it'll look like here. I have it pulled up on the stream. Here's the NES console. This actually looks badass.
That's what I'm saying. It does look badass. I want it, but I mean, I'm wondering, are those a lot of them assembled already, or do I have to assemble all that?
No, you have to assemble it. It's gonna come in. Have you ever assembled a Lego set before?
Yeah, but well, no, well, I just had a whole thing, huge drawer of Legos when I was a child. But actually, build something like that, no. And I knew that Legos was kind of expensive, but I might just. I'd love to make it, but if I buy it, it's probably gonna stay sealed.
Yeah, it's. I mean, if I had a bigger bedroom and more space, I would buy it to display, build it and display it.
I think it's badass. You know what's the crazy thing is? Nintendo, before they were a video game manufacturer, they did toys and stuff.
Yeah, and they did
And
playing
what?
cards.
Yeah, playing cards. And one of the things they did was building blocks like Legos. And I think even Legos, they might have sued them for that because it looks extremely close. But now it's kind of funny they're doing this together.
I think it's pretty cool that Nintendo is actually starting to license out their products again for stuff like this, because they've been so cautious with it, with licensing out their products ever since that horrible Super Mario Brothers movie.
Well, you know what it really was too is the whole Sony Nintendo deal that fell through, and they're ever since they don't want to give out the license out
Yeah, it's
unless
true.
they trust them a little bit, like to some of these bigger companies, kind of like Platinum Games or Ubisoft.
So let's bring up your Twitter poll from earlier. I have it here on the screen. So you posted a tweet earlier asking to vote on which systems have, I guess, the crazier kind of DLC. For instance, if
No,
you,
the weirder, the
the
weirdest
add-ons. That's right.
add-ons. Yeah,
Yeah. So, like for example, the 360 had the hard drive, the HD DVD player.
yeah.
You also had external hard drives for it, which you didn't mention, but that's neither here or there. Um, The Sega Genesis obviously had the 32X and the CD add-ons.
Yeah.
So your poll here stands at 8 votes, with 6 people voting Sega.
Yep.
So, what are your opinions on the add-ons for? Because you were picking what? You picked Xbox, I would imagine.
It's kind of hard. Until I saw that. If you look down a little bit, you see the Sega Master System add-on as well. It was the I had that Master System add-on a long time ago, so that
Oh yeah,
probably
yeah, yep.
I think that would have swayed it more to the Sega Genesis because they love um just putting a ton of add-ons. Then I just realized like when I was moving the 360 back into the collection room because I'm not going to use it anymore.
Right.
And I was like, well, shoot, this has so much junk with it. It has the external hard drive, like you say, it has the internet adapter, it has the HD DVD drive. It just kind of looks kind of weird
And then you
with all
have
the.
and then you have the Sega. You have the 32X add-on, which sits on top of the Genesis. You have the Sega CD, which connects to the side,
Yeah,
and then again, of course, you have the Master System add-on, which I guess that plugs into the top of the Genesis
the
as well,
Genesis. Yeah,
allowing it to play Master System games.
yeah. I wish I still had that, but I sold that to get a real master system.
So I sided with Sega because back then console add-ons were
Mhm.
not really thought of as a standard like they kind of are today.
Yeah,
Because nowadays, what do you have with the PS4? You have the VR, you have external hard drives, you have the PlayStation camera, PlayStation Move, and the Xbox has the Kinect and stuff like that. And the 360 had the stuff that it had. Even
yeah.
even the PS2 had that internet adapter, if you remember, before the
Well,
slim
they had.
model.
I think they had it like the PS2 internet adapter was a brick that you put it on the back of the system.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still an add-on though.
Yeah,
But back in the
but
day, this is what 1992 or 93 that Sega did this stuff. So they were the innovators of
yeah,
console add-ons. If you think
pretty
about it.
much. It's a weird thing. Get this. Uh, the Atari 7800 was gonna was gonna have an add-on, and you
Really?
know what was the add-on gonna be?
No. What was that?
It was somehow I don't know how they're gonna do this, but it was gonna be a laser disc player.
Really? Wow.
Yes, sound like interesting. I mean, laser disc is a size of a record, so and the system's very small, kind of small. Maybe the size, maybe a little bit bigger than the 64, give or take. And then you'll have the laser disc player right under it.
That's interesting. So,
Yeah.
so before we continue here, if you anyone who joined right at the start, the song I played while I was finishing everything before I called Casey, I played a song called Ozymandias, Ozymandias by Redvox off of their newest album, Realign. You can find the track on YouTube as well as the full album. Interesting music for an indie band that I like to listen to. Um, so back in the news here, Assassin's Creed Valhalla was also shown off at the Ubisoft event on Sunday. They showed the first 30 minutes of the game, and they also announced the release date, um, which is going to be available for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, PC, and Stadia on November 17th, 2020. So literally like right before the PS5 comes out. So I'm kind of curious why this game wasn't made for the new consoles as well.
Which game is it?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's the new game in the Assassin's
Oh,
Creed series.
you know this is going to be ported over in the next gen.
But
You know that.
why wasn't it? It's not listed for next gen right now. So why hasn't it been developed for next gen as well already?
I bet money it will, especially if it does well. It will because I mean, look, uh, they did that same thing with the GTA 5 going from the 360 and the PS3 era. It was right at the very end of those of the life of both of those, and it eventually got ported over to the PS4 and Xbox One.
Well,
So
yeah,
I
but GTA 5 was also out for a couple of months, a few months before the new consoles came out. So, but this
and
is
I
literally like days before the new consoles come out. Why not just wait?
they'll probably say, "Oh, and also for the system." I mean, sometimes they hold that back because a lot of them they'll say, "Oh, it's only for this and this system," and then when it's about to release, it's like, "Oh, it's also for this one."
I'm still got a little bit of that cough there. I apologize. So yeah, so that's Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I really don't have any interest in that system, not
And
system, the game. You can
yeah,
tell how tired I am. My thoughts are running together.
nah. Uh, to me, it's like what, like I said, if it's a game, a series of games, I haven't got a chance to play like the first one. It's kind of hard for me to get into the series when it's like already have five, six, seven, eight sequels of it out,
Right. Yeah, I understand that.
and by the time I was like, screw it, I'm not getting into it.
I mean, one day, you could always start from the beginning. So, I got some good news on the PS5 according to Sony.
Yeah,
Sony has reportedly boosted PlayStation 5 console production to meet the pandemic demand, which means
huh?
there should be more consoles than the small amount that we were previously been estimated to launch this year. It says to meet the surge in demand, Sony Interactive Entertainment is boosting the PS5 production output, according to a report by Bloomberg. The decision comes after seeing the prolonged effects of the global COVID-19 pandemic boosting the demand for gaming. That's very true. What else are you gonna fucking do when half the country's locked down again?
Exactly. I mean, like I was talking to D Moon before I picked up my PlayStation 4. I was like, dude, I want to get a PS4, but I mean, we're so close to the next generation. I'm like, I don't want. Then he's like, dude, just hold out. I was like, and then the whole pandemic happened. I got money from the stimulus check, and I was like, screw it, I'm getting it. Try to get a cheap one. I did get a cheap PS4 Pro,
Right.
and I'm happy with my purchase. I mean, I've already got a shitload of PS4 games, and I still need to go through a bunch of them.
So just to end this piece of news off here, back in April, it was reported by Bloomberg that Sony was limiting the initial first wave of PS5 production to about 5 million units to release this year. That has since been doubled, according to a familiar source within Sony plans to double the PS5 production output to about 10 million units to release this year. So that
This,
sounds much more reassuring.
this year, or are we talking about the full next year?
No, this year when it comes out.
Because if they think they're gonna sell 5 or 10 million inside a couple months, I mean, yeah, you're gonna sell a few million, but 5 to 10,
Well, I
I
could
don't
honestly
see.
tell you they're going to sell more than you think because you got all the scalpers out there that are going to try to buy them all and sell them
Well,
and sell them for much more on eBay because you know that's going to happen.
yeah.
So I'm
Hopefully,
glad they doubled the production. They're doubling the production output because it gives us more of a chance to get one.
well, the thing is, some of these retailers need to be, you know, think of not selling a huge, like, 3 or 4 of the PlayStation 5. They really just need, like, okay, well, you can get one right now, and instead of just buying them in bulk, to give us a chance to get one.
Oh my, this is quite interesting.
Uh oh.
Gamescom, which is the next, it's usually the second gaming convention after E3 that
Mm-hmm.
takes place at the end of August. We have the full list of participants so far, and we're going to go through this list. Of course, they have also been impacted by COVID. What else is new? So far, the attendees for Gamescom, which I'm hoping will be a lot better than that last one I was looking forward to because that was a shit show. We have 2-player games, A2 Softworks / Cybernetic Technologies, Activision Blizzard,
Mm,
Aerosoft, Afterburner Studios, Aller Steam, never heard of them, Alien Pixel Games, All In Games, Alter Gaze, Ansher Studio, Assemble Entertainment, Astragon, Bandai Namco Entertainment. I'm interested in what they got. Uh,
yeah.
Bedtime Digital Games, Bethesda, Bit Compressor, Bossa Studios, uh, Bundescent, Für something that's in fucking that's in German. I can't read that. Uh, Senprom, never heard of them. Clever Plays, Curve Digital, Cyber Shoes, GmbH, Dark Fracture, Dotemu, Drop Bear Bites, East Games / Goblin Studios, EA Games, Egosoft, English English Enlightened Robot Entertainment, ESL, which is Esports League, Exer Studios, Fast Travel Games, Focused Home, Ford, and Fordzilla. Why is Ford going there? Frontier Development, Fusion Play, Gamers Health United, uh, Goldilock One, G Portal, Head Up, Indie Arena Booth, IT Sonics, Kalen Arts, Cock or Koch Media GmbH, Loot Boy, Mass Creation, Media Market eBusiness, Merge Games, Mixed Division, Monster Couch, NeoWiz, Nova Quark, Number Mill, Owned Media, Payload Studios, Piece of Cake Studios, Playtra, Pro Proletariat, Saturn, Experian, Scavenger Studios, Sega Europe, uh,
Interesting for
Sh-
Sega Europe.
Shadow Fideus Game Studios, Stream Heroes, Strictly Limited Games, Super.com, Tactical Adventures, The Fox Software, The Game Bakers, Thing Thunk, Third Shift Studio, Tin Can Studio, Toplitz Production, Trusted Events, Twisted 2 Studio, Ubisoft, Varsov, Wargaming, Whisper Interactive, Wired Productions, WB Merchandise, Xbox, uh, Exeme Solutions, Jaeger Development, Eureka Games, and Zordix. Those are all of the confirmed
Hmm.
game developers, publishers, game studios, and I guess their partners that are all confirmed so far for Gamescom. Gamescom, there's no information yet on how to watch it, but if there is a way to watch it, that'll probably be announced at some point.
It's
The
probably it's probably going to be like how they did E3 this year. I mean,
Well, they didn't do E3 at all this year. That's the thing. They didn't even
well, they
stream it.
well, I'm saying where all the presentations was separate. You
Right.
know,
Yeah. Well,
so
Gamescom has a date. It's August 27th through the 30th this year. So I'm guessing all of these companies and studios are going to have showcases throughout the 4 days.
I I don't see that happening, especially right now with this pandemic going down.
Well,
I mean, every,
they'll probably be broadcasted from home or their development studios.
yeah,
It's not going to be like at a venue, like E3 normally is and stuff.
yeah.
They'll probably all be done from home or their gaming studios and stuff like that. And it's going to be lower quality than normal and everything else. So,
This damn virus. I always look towards for E3,
yep, me
and
too.
and what a shame. So what you got on the list?
We got one more thing here. But real quick, Drew posted something 17 seconds ago on Twitter. He says, I wanted to get more videos out tonight, but I'm just not feeling it. Had to be motivated. Hard to be motivated when you yourself and others have been pushed around by YouTube in the past couple of days. That's true. Unless
Hmm.
something changes, I'll try and get something out tomorrow night. Well, Drew, feel better, man.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand. I mean, YouTube sucks. You know, it. I mean, you have to walk around eggshells on YouTube, or you're gonna be screwed.
I should tweet him back. We could always hang out. You could always hang out and watch me and Casey talk some shit about video games. So, one more piece of news before we get to this week's list. Casey, I asked you before. Do you want to buy a flamethrower?
Oh God, I gotta see the picture on this thing. I
Uh,
mean, it can't be a real one. I'm still saying it's gotta be a replica.
if you pull up my Twitch stream in a moment, you will see it. Um,
I got it up right now.
yeah, I don't have it on the screen yet, but I will in a minute. I'm going to put it up there in a minute. During during Ubisoft's Ubi Forward event, they revealed Far Cry 6, the release date for the game, and a collector's edition of what you can get. So the game will arrive February 18th, 2021 for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PC, and Google Stadia. And if you decide to buy, if you don't have the new consoles yet and you still want to play the game, if you buy the PS4 or Xbox One version, you can
Mm,
upgrade. You can upgrade to the next gen version for free whenever you feel like it.
that's cool.
They also announced a collector's edition, big motherfucking collector's edition. Excuse me. Pre-order bonuses and special editions were also discussed following Ubisoft's reveal. If you pre-order, you get a Chorizo Libertad outfit and Discos Locos Deadly Disc launcher for the game. If you buy the $100 Gold Edition, you get the game and the Season Pass. If you buy the $120 Ultimate Edition, you get the Gold Edition content, which is obviously the Season Pass with the game.
Mhm.
You also get the Croc Hunter Jungle Expedition and Vice Packs for the game. Now, if you buy the $200 Collector's Edition, and this is what
So
I'm.
that so the ultimate. It's not the ultimate. Uh, version. So that was a load of bullshit right there.
Um, oh wait, hold on. All right, now if you pull up the stream, you'll see the $200 Ultimate Edition contains. You get everything with the Ultimate Edition and the Gold Edition. So you get the game, the Season Pass, the Jungle Expedition, and the Vice Packs. You also get a 64-page art book. You get 10 stickers, a Totus Door flamethrower, 72 centimeters long with instructions, a steelbook case, and a selected game soundtrack, a chorizo keychain, and a map of Yara, which I imagine is the game's uh, setting for this game.
You know, I like the best is the flamethrower. The handle looks like a gas pump handle.
Right?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. But no, that's a prop.
Yeah, of
There's
course.
no.
Of course, they're
But
not going to sell you a real flamethrower for $200. I was playing it up, damn it.
it's kind of like how was it Gears of War? They had the chainsaw gun. You can get that chainsaw gun, but it's a prop, and this is what reminds me of. I should try the Far Cry games, but like I said, I might try this one maybe, but it's one like I said before. There's so many sequels. I mean, it's hard for me to get into a series. But is there anything else on that?
No. I mentioned the release date. The trailer is up on YouTube. You could search it and look and play it for yourself. I'm gonna bust Drew's balls real quick.
Well, I do want to talk about the rumor about the Nintendo Direct coming up.
Yeah, go
There's
ahead
been
because I was actually interested in that, and I haven't heard any of the rumors since like April.
well, there's been a lot of rumors going through, especially on YouTube, about the Nintendo Direct coming in July. It supposedly, well, I'm hearing it was like July 20th or July 23rd, somewhere around there. But there's a couple reasons why I think it's going to actually happen extremely soon. As one, after Super Mario, was it Paper Super Mario? The
Origami King that comes
yeah, or
out
extremely,
this Friday.
and after that, Nintendo doesn't have anything announced after that that's coming out this year. And then there's been that rumor for Super Mario, the 3D Super Mario games collections, and apparently there's a Twitter page for the Super Mario Brothers 35 uh, anniversary, but it's locked.
Well,
And
that wouldn't be until
we're in the 35th year,
you're right.
and the the Twitter page is locked. But someone decided to see if they can recover the password, or at least see how to recover a password. And then they noticed the email address. You know how it says something at google.com or something?
Yeah, it's an email address. Yep.
Yeah, so on the N of where at, there's an N where enough asterisks that you could spell Nintendo, then it would say enough room for .co .ja or for Japan.
Yeah, actually, I found the rumor right here. According to a website called videogameschronicle.com, it
Mm,
says, according to a source, Nintendo can will reportedly premiere a full Nintendo Direct presentation later this month, according to noted insider Kelios, who suggested on the Reset Era forum last weekend that the Direct could take place on Monday, July 20th. The user has previously leaked accurate timing related to Nintendo Directs, including the Direct Mini that took place in March of this year. The
And
timing,
they call that the stealth direct because they didn't usually Nintendo likes to give you a day or a few days notice. Usually the day before notice it's gonna
right?
happen. But that direct mini it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and just like you said, the timing would put the Direct just beyond the release of Paper Mario: The Origami King, which
Hmm.
remains the company's only major release confirmed for the rest of this year. So no time announced, which directs usually happen in either early afternoon or late afternoon. So
Hmm.
it'll either happen around maybe 12 p.m. Eastern time,
Yeah, or late.
maybe 3 p.m. Eastern or 6 p.m. Eastern, or it could happen at 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern time.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place. You can't really put your finger on it. It's like I seen it like that before. Like he says, it's in the morning. It's at lunchtime. It's in the afternoon. It's just a lot of times, or in the evening. So you can never tell where they're gonna do, and they'll give you that day's notice. But when they gave the stealth direct, uh, I'm kind of hoping it's true because I mean we hadn't had a real good direct in a while, and after this Paper Mario game come out, there's really nothing, and I'm kind of hoping we get a bunch of good news.
Yeah, because I mean Nintendo's got to have something for the rest of this year. I can't see them relying. I can't see them relying on Paper Mario to help sell the Switch for the rest of this year because Paper Mario has been a dud of a series for them over the last few releases.
Well, I know Color Splash wasn't well received. I got it for
Neither
the.
was Sticker Star.
I should try Color Splash because I got it cheap recently, but this one does look kind of interesting. So hopefully it's actually good.
I mean, I like the battle system. They changed it up a little bit. It's kind of
Mm,
interesting, but I just don't like how they took away all of the damn fucking cough. They took away like all of the RPG elements out of the game. With character boosts, with the
yeah.
the badges, and earning EXP to level your characters up.
Mm,
I mean, I've only played Thousand Year Door in the Paper Mario
mm.
series, and I loved that game.
I heard that was really good,
It
and
was fantastic. Loved it.
I think I played that one before. I think that was on the Wii, right?
No, it was on the GameCube.
Was it on the GameCube?
Yeah, the Wii one was called Super Paper Mario.
Hmm.
The one on the Wii had that 3D element to it where you could switch from 2D side scrolling to 3D, and you had to
It,
do it quite often to find secrets and stuff to progress through the
yeah,
game.
I think that's the one I played.
Yeah, I mean that one. I watched a Let's Play of that one on Vine Sauce on YouTube,
Mm.
and it didn't look too bad, but I think it certainly didn't beat the original two, in my opinion.
Well, I'm just hoping for the. I probably wait. I mean, right now I can't afford to get that right now. Plus, I might just wait for it to be on sale or something, unless I hear really good things about it.
Well, if you have your Wii U, is it on the Wii U? It might be.
No, no, it's
No,
just
oh no, they don't have GameCube games on the Wii U, right?
Uh, no, I don't think they do GameCube. Like, I know they did 64, but in some other systems, but as GameCube, I don't think so. You figure it should, especially the Wii was backward compatible. It'd be awesome if the Wii U did that as well, but that would just cost them shitload of money, more money for the system.
So let's get into this week's list, and then we're going to wrap up the podcast. We're already just about an hour in. This week's list. This was your idea, Casey. This one is the top 15. The top 15 commercial game console failures. So, in today's console market, it is rare to see a console become a commercial failure. Very rarely does someone step in and try to dethrone any of the big boys. There have been a few times that one of the big three have made a misstep, usually Nintendo, but
Well,
the three
you know,
major players have always managed to make copious amounts of money. Some have just been making a little less than others.
Xbox never was number one at all.
No,
I mean,
they haven't won a generation yet.
they lost the PS2. They,
They lost in the end of the PS3, and then they lost.
yeah,
Well, Nintendo beat both of them that in that
yeah,
generation.
the Wii won,
The PS4 is
and
clearly going to win this one.
yeah, and I think right now the Switch is also kicking the Xbox One's ass in sales.
Yeah. Even the Switch I think surpassed it by a few million, and that's kind
Yeah,
of
and
sad considering that the Xbox came out in 2013.
yeah, and while the Switch came out in 2017, so it had a 4-year start head start. I mean, so they kind of get in last place again. I mean, if you can combine the system sales between the Wii U and the Switch, they really lost. You know?
Right. Yeah. So let's start this list. Number 15 is the Ouya console.
Uh, if I ever see it come through like a vintage stock or somewhere like a flea market, I might pick one up.
The Ouya is an Android powered and easy to develop for console. It would obviously have a lot of free to play, pay to win, and other types of freemium games. The Ouya also solved a major problem with Android mobile gaming. You can now play your games with the more familiar controller input device and a full screen from your couch. That is until the Ouya flopped, and you can no longer do any of that.
Yeah,
And
it was pretty much just played mobile games. I didn't think it really played any AAA games at all.
it did if you downloaded emulators.
Oh,
Um,
well, you had to really like the Ouya to actually to do that.
it says the only people who seemed to want the Ouya were those that supported the Kickstarter. Even though the previews for the console were decent, Ouya had
Hmm.
a hard time attracting developers and selling the dev kits. So the console had very little in the way of games. Razer eventually bought out Ouya's development team and their software assets, effectively putting an end to the console.
One of the good things they had for a while, I believe they let you play demos on them before you can buy them. I wish that was kind of console like cross all platforms because it would be nice to play like maybe a 20-minute demo on the game or think about it and you played it, you're like, yeah, it seems like it's fun. I mean, I love getting demos like on my Switch all the time.
Yeah, demos are not nearly as common as they used to be.
I mean, yeah, I just wish every game that comes out had a demo. I mean, I'd probably buy more games if the demos were good.
Number 14 is the Commodore 64 system.
I know some a little about this. Uh, they pretty much took the Commodore 64 and uh, pretty much consoleized it, and it was hard to play the game because you kind of still needed the keyboard.
Yep. Says the Commodore 64 game system was released in 1990, which was just a bit too late as the Nintendo and Sega had already surpassed Atari and were completely dominating the consoles market. Anyone interested in a Commodore 64 for gaming probably already had the computer by this point. There was also the issue of finding parties willing to develop for it, as Nintendo and Sega were the go-to systems at the time.
The next one, I got a little bit of a story.
Number 13, the Sega Saturn. Do you consider that a commercial failure?
Yeah. Oh, it depends. In Japan, it did really well, but in America, it failed.
All right, so you have
But
a story. Go ahead.
yeah, so I kind of didn't know there was a Saturn when I was younger.
Neither did I, so
Because
don't feel bad.
see, the thing was, at the time, I knew about the Sega CDs, but shoot, I didn't even know about the 32X at all either. Because I was playing either Super Nintendo or Genesis at that time, and while on my Sega Genesis we had the Sega Channel,
Yep, I
so
had that too. I fucking loved it.
yeah, and that's how I played. So I didn't like pretty much when this whole Sega Saturn happened. I was playing the Sega Channel and Super Nintendo. So and then I went from that to N64, so I skipped over. I I did not know about the Saturn, and
Are you
I
sure you're
heard
not
of,
my twin or something? Because I went down the same road.
yeah, no shit. And then I heard about Dreamcast, but it was only out for a little bit, about the
Two,
same amount of time.
little over 2 years before it got
Yeah,
discontinued.
but my that was my wife's favorite system, my late wife, and our Sega Saturn is actually modded that you can play Japanese games on it as well.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And we do have a cartridge. It's called the Action Replay.
Oh, so it's a
Eh,
cheap device.
well, not only that, it's this one's been flashed, so
Oh shit.
you can actually, if we didn't have it modded, it would have played the Japanese games as well, and also it allows you to burn games without doing some weird swapping disc bullshit.
You did a Sega Saturn video already, right?
No, that's in the future.
I was gonna say, because if you did one, you didn't mention that.
No, I still got to do the Saturn. I still got to do the ColecoVision. Uh, let's see. Let's look around. Then television. I need to do one for the Xbox One, the PS3, the Odyssey 2, the Atari 7800. So it's getting down to nitty gritty. What's left in the collection for me? About like seven more, give or take. 5 to 7 more systems.
So when it comes to the Saturn, it's a shame that this beefy black box didn't sell too well, since it would mark the beginning of the end of Sega's decline on the hardware side of the console market. It offered a lot of excellent games that you could find on the Saturn's major rivals, the Nintendo 64, the Sony PlayStation, but most of those were arcade ports and not Sega Saturn exclusives. When it came to exclusives, the Saturn was quite lacking. There was a Scud the Disposable, Assassins and Props, if you're familiar, game, but even the then acclaimed comic book didn't offer much in the way of great gaming experience. They also had the Shining Force 3, which is an installment of an excellent Sega RPG, I agree. What was noticeably lacking from the Saturn's library? A proper
Mm.
Sonic game, that is true. The Sega Saturn did not even offer a Sonic game. What was Sega thinking?
Well, they did file a Sonic game. It just got canceled. It was in development hell.
Yeah, Sonic
And talk
Extreme.
about yeah, it was really in development hell like crazy. Not as bad as Duke Nukem Forever, but that thing came out, but it took over a decade.
12 years.
While while they tried for the Saturn, and it just kept on failing. I think this is what it should. If you ask me, it has a cartridge slot. I mean, they should just somehow put a bit better battery or some kind of better memory pack in there somehow, and use that cartridge slot for like a 32X adapter or play Genesis. That would kick everyone's ass if you think about it.
So, staying on the Sega train, number 12 is the Sega Dreamcast.
I like the Dreamcast. I really like it, and it's people love it. You know.
Unfortunately, I got mine on Christmas Day in 2001, so the console was already obsolete at that point.
Well, it was still pretty cool to get it at that time. Anyways, I mean,
And the only
I,
games I got to play on it was a port of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, which was also on the PS2 at the time.
mm,
I played Sonic Adventure 1 and
that's good.
a snowboarding game called Rippin' Riders. That was it.
Well, the good thing about the Dreamcast, I really think it's system wide. I hadn't tested it since the Dreamcast, the first one I had, but I really think it's system wide that you can play burden games on that as well.
Only the 1999 model, because there was a revised model after that one that was
Mm,
made. Did I tell you the story how I got my Dreamcast for $25? I think I did.
yeah, you told me.
Yeah, I'll just tell it again real quick for the show. Went to a local gaming store not far from where I live called East Coast Gamers, and at the time, Dreamcasts, even used ones, were going online for $300 used. Um,
Mm,
and when I went to the store, I was looking at what kind of games they had, and they had a Dreamcast there, and I asked them how much for the Dreamcast, and the guy told me $25. So when he told me $25, I'm like, shit, that's a steal.
mm,
And that day I bought Soul Calibur as well, the original Soul Calibur,
mm.
which was after the game was rebranded from Soul Edge and released for the Dreamcast. Soul Edge was originally a PlayStation game, and the game was renamed, I think, due to, I forgot what the reasoning was, but it was due to some licensing issue or some copyright issue or whatever. So they rebranded the game as Soul Calibur, and it got released on the Dreamcast. I have a copy of it. It's one of my favorite fighting games out there. But yeah, I got the Dreamcast. It even came with the VMU memory card.
Mm.
So $25 for a $300 console, shit, you don't let that go.
Oh, that Sega Dreamcast right there, um, I picked up recently. like I sent you the message. It was like $80, and I was like,
Yep.
oh, but I was like, and I'm glad I did it. I picked it up because there was also that PlayStation I showed you. It was in the box. I went back like 2, 3 days later, and that PlayStation was gone.
Yep.
So I was glad that I picked up that Dreamcast in its box, and I already got the box controller and the box RF adapter. So it was kind of cool little section.
The final nail in Sega's console coffin. Though Sega had gone on to develop software for the former competition, Microsoft Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, this would be the last console developed by one of the original big boys of the console market. Its downfall would be led to something we never thought we'd see in a million years: Sonic games on Nintendo systems. We even saw some games that co starred Mario and Sonic. In a way, there is a bright side to the poor performance of the Dreamcast.
For performance, some people decide says the Dreamcast is almost one of the top ones. I mean,
So,
what? Even though the PS2 was playing DVDs while Dreamcast was playing, I guess, with giga disc where it only holds 1 gig on the disc.
yeah,
While
I mean, it was bigger. It was bigger capacity than the PS1 was able to
yeah,
achieve.
yeah, but as the PS2, it couldn't. I mean, but
I mean,
it's sad.
The Dreamcast was struggling to hang on. And once Microsoft said, "Hey, we're making the Xbox," that was it. Sega pretty much had no choice but to fold.
Yeah, I mean, because by the time, like, there's really only room for 3 consoles in there. Um, yeah, honestly, could say 2, but Nintendo has been goes on their own route. They're not trying to say, "Hey, we try to have their biggest, most powerful system." So that I think that's why Nintendo is still here today.
Some people over the years still develop homebrew games for the Dreamcast, like Fast
Hmm.
Striker and a few of those other games, and those are in HD. Even those games.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, like you said, they're still producing games for the Dreamcast.
Now, of course, you could buy Fast Striker now on the PS4 and stuff like that, but back then, when that was a Dreamcast exclusive game that was released in like 2009 or
Hmm.
2010, that's something unheard of because when a dead system gets new life breathed into it, like
Hmm.
9 or 10 years later, it's something amazing. That just goes to show how popular the system was. It did pretty well against the PS2 for a little while, but with Nintendo not doing so well with the GameCube
Yeah.
in that generation, and then like I said, Xbox was the final nail in the coffin for
Oh
Sega.
yeah. Yeah. There was no room for the Dreamcast. There's only room for 3.
I mean, in a little over 2 years though, there was a couple hundred games. You had Resident Evil, you had Sonic, you had Cubert, House of
Yeah.
the Dead, Crazy Taxi 1 and 2, Jet Set Radio. I think Hydro Thunder was even on the Dreamcast, maybe.
Yeah. I
Um,
think so.
what else did you have? House of the Dead, I think I mentioned. Space Channel 5.
I think Hype of the
Shenmue.
Dead.
Yeah, Shenmue was 1 and 2 was on
Yeah.
there.
But
Sonic Adventure 1
2
and 2.
Shamu 2 was only a European release. I don't think we got it in America.
Well, we do
So,
now on the PS4.
well, I meant as
At the
uh,
time, yeah, I get
at the
it.
time, and then Xbox had the Shamu 2 release.
And yeah, so Dreamcast even had Mortal Kombat. Even
Mm,
though it was a shit game, it even had some of the best fighting games though. Marvel vs. Capcom, X Men vs. Street Fighter. Stuff
I
like
would
that.
say Saturn had probably had better fighting games. And that was one of their uh, best things about Saturn was the fighting games.
So number 11, this is something we talked about on the now lost episode.
The
Number
Lost.
11 is the Virtual Boy.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. My best friend had the Virtual Boy. I tried it out. Uh, it just sucks. It only didn't last less than a year.
They only made what, like literally 12 games for it? Like you could
Yeah,
literally
but
hold the entire stack of games in one hand.
yes. Well, I mean, they promoted this as a portable. I mean, yeah,
Nah,
you
it's
don't.
not all that portable if you think about it.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, one, there's no freaking head strap, so you can't be. Best way is to play it on the table with the stand on,
Number 2, it
and
had to be plugged into a fucking power source.
yeah, so you couldn't actually go like.
Play it in the car like a fucking Game Boy.
I guess you could have some weird adapter, but you had to really make it portable.
What did you think of the controller though, having two D-pads?
You know what? It's been forever. I can't really give any opinions. I mean, I don't. It's been forever.
'Cause I've only played the what is it called, Galactic Pinball, and
Mm.
Mario Tennis. That was on the Virtual Boy, and
I think. I
my
think
time with
that's
it was
all.
limited. I didn't have too much interest in it.
I would love to get one, but I don't know. But
It
yeah,
says the Virtual Boy never took off. First off, it was marketed as portable. It wasn't really portable, as we just mentioned, as the
yeah,
VR headset, if you want to call it a VR headset, didn't actually strap to your head. Instead, it was mounted on a tripod. You had to have a flat surface, like a floor or a table. Second, it was entirely uncomfortable to use. Putting it on the floor and keeping your head at an unnatural right angle with your body for the amount of time it took to play a game was painful. You also had to deal with your head constantly pushing it forward and and straying away from your eyes. Some gamers tried rectifying this with duct tape, a la AVGN,
yeah.
but
That's what I was thinking.
but you shouldn't bring duct tape to play a brand new gaming system. Third, it presented the games in only two colors, black and red. That's not only a very good representation of reality, even if it is supposed to be virtual.
You know what? It was not really even VR at all. It was just more like 3D.
Yeah.
Because VR, you're kind of like immersed into the game.
Can you
Like,
imagine if
like,
VR today was what it was 25 years ago? Holy shit. That would be awful.
oh yeah. I mean, well, the Virtual Boy was a 32-bit system, so they should have just tried to figure out better way.
32 bits with one colors and all the wireframe models you can handle.
I'm not shocked that was on the list. I'm shocked. You know what? I'm shocked this is not even way higher.
Yeah, right? I would have
Yeah.
thought. I guess maybe because it was made by Gunpei Yokoi, who was the
Mhm.
guy who invented the Game Boy. So I guess the Virtual Boy got spared a little bit in that aspect.
Yeah.
But the Virtual Boy was what led him to retire from game development, so he knew
Well,
he fucked up.
Supposedly, well, but he did start up his own company for the Wonder Swan. So,
Number 10. Tell me a little bit about the 3DO, Casey. I watched your video when you
yeah,
made a video on it.
yeah. Well, I did a part one. I mean, because I only played a few games of it. I've been wanting to to play go through them. I still hadn't did it because I've been sick for the last week. And actually, that one right there is the version I have, the Gold Star. I just don't have that version of the controller. But it has some cool games. I mean, I really like Mad Dog McGree. I got Space Ace, and it got Road Rash. I like Road Rash games,
Road Rash is so fun.
but then you got some weird games where you can be like. There was one called 20th and Century Video Alp, Alp, Alpanac.
Almanac. Almanac.
Almanac. I couldn't pronounce it, but
That's kind of like the
and
CDI having that game, Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, or The Flowers of Ronald Mapplethorpe, or whatever his name was.
I think. Are you sure that's CDI or could that be on 3DO?
I think it was CDI. Maybe it was the 3DO.
It's
Because
damn near.
I know AVGN made fun of both of those games, if you want to call them
Yeah,
games.
but then
Um,
there's a weird one on there. It's your the music that conductor. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? But yeah, there's a bunch of games I need to try. Like, there's one cool game called PO. It's like a shooter game, but it's kind of disgusting. I, but I really need to go play them and go back and do a review of my experience because I bought it at too many games, like 4 or 5 years ago, more like 5, and then I guess like I said before, I got it. It's like, oh, cool, and then I just moved on to something else.
yeah, that's usually how it happens, right?
Yeah, so I'm trying. I already got a huge stack of the Jewel games on the coffee table. I just need to play them.
But I tell you what, man, a game console having weird games, shocking. But the
Well, but
3DO's biggest problem was it shared the same unfortunate fate as the Neo Geo in the fact that it was way too expensive for the time.
oh yeah, it was like $700.
I
I
mean,
think.
even the PS3 wasn't $700, and that was a failure at first because of the
It was
price
not.
tag.
No, it wasn't too far off.
No, and that's why the
Uh,
PS3 failed for the first couple of years because that
is
price tag was just too fucking high.
is yours still working on the stream? Because mine is reloading.
Um, Says I'm still streaming. Let me check my app. Um, Might have to just refresh, maybe.
My freaking phone. I mean, my laptop. It's garbage.
Let me see.
Oh, it wasn't
Okay, Echo. Yeah, it's working for me.
Okay. All right. Well. All right. Just making sure. It must. I probably need to refresh it. But uh, you know what's funny about? See if they talk about. I'm gonna. No, go ahead and read the.
So the 3DO wasn't really a console per se. It was actually a list of specs that hardware companies could use to make their own consoles. The most popular of these hardware manufacturers was Panasonic. So many gaming magazines at the time often referred to it as the Panasonic 3DO due to the fact that Panasonic manufactured the first wave of consoles. Later, manufacturers like Sanyo and LG, then Gold Star, would manufacture their own 3DO consoles. The system was highly promoted in gaming magazines, and Time magazine even uh, heralded the system as the product of the year in 1993. Well, shit, I thought it came out even later than that. Unfortunately, the console market was completely oversaturated at this point, with Super Nintendo and Genesis being huge hits. There was also the Atari Jaguar, the TurboGrafx 16, and the Neo Geo to contend with. It didn't help that the 3DO released some alarmingly terrible games like the infamous Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. There you go. So that was the 3DO.
Uh, are you sure? Because I'm still refreshing. I went back and went on someone else video. Oh, yeah, I
Set?
went on like ADTR's and brings him up. I go back to us, and it's just continue refreshing.
Really? Because it's showing it's good on my end. It says uh, hour and 28 minutes. It says stream
I
status
mean,
is good.
all right. Well, while I'm trying something else, uh, what the rumor was that what the 3DO company wanted to do,
It says
they
we're
want
only getting 8 frames per second for whatever reason. That could be the problem. Anyways, go on.
what's the crazy thing. They would. The crazy thing is, they wanted to be the console. Like if they wanted you to be, like they just want their console be just the game system. Where, like how you have a VCR that would play all VCRs tapes,
Right.
where and the same thing with cassette tapes and CD players and wherever. While 3DO wanted to be the game system that all the publishers and would produce their games for that system. So wish that was true because think about it. I mean, you wouldn't have to feel like you're gonna have to worry about. Oh, I'm not gonna get. I don't have this system, so that means I can't get that game. You know,
Right.
I mean, you could have the 3DO and the next generation version. So that was kind of a cool thing. Hoped it. I wished it happened.
Yeah, I got my stream up on my phone and it's only showing a black screen, but it's getting your audio and it's getting my audio.
Okay.
I don't know why it's not showing anything on the screen though. That's not good. I don't want to
Well, I
create too much echo.
I'm trying to go bring us up, and yeah, it just keeps refreshing. Screw it.
I'm gonna end the stream real quick and I'll just restart it. Twitch to reconnect. For whatever reason, I was only getting 8 frames per second before. I don't know how long that's been doing that.
Well, not too long. Looks like it was doing that when I mentioned it because I was watching it so I can have a visual aid because a lot of times like I'm on Drew's show, he would have stuff. If you're just listening on on Skype, you're not gonna know what the hell's going on. So you
Right.
need, or that's why I use my phone for the camera, and I have a secondary device, the laptop, to
That's all. It's
watch.
working now. The screen and everything's back up. See if it's working again
Okay,
for you. It should
all
be
right,
because it's working for me again. So yeah.
yeah,
But you did see the 3DO before, right? Before we had problems, like on the stream
yeah,
itself.
yeah. We're up and good. Yeah, I saw the 3DO
Okay,
on it.
so then we really didn't lose anything, thankfully.
Yeah.
Um, so number 9. Tell me, have you ever heard of this? Because I haven't. Called the Action Max.
Yep. I got it. I do. Hold on. Do I have it boxed? Yeah, I do. It's right over here. right over there, boxed.
Oh, okay. So that's something you could probably do a video on too, if you've ever played it, that is, or even know what it is.
Well, I actually did a kind of did a quick version of it real quick because I have a bunch of weird stuff in the collection,
Right.
so I combined that in there. What it is a system that the console only reads how many hits you have. It comes with a generic headset, a generic looking gun.
Yeah, you can
Your
see it
game,
here on the screen. It looks
your
like you get a
game.
mouse kind of thing,
Well,
a
that
shit
no, that
headset, a gun.
no, that what you think it's a mouse is a sensor,
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
and you have to put that on the lower right corner of your tube TV. And the games are VHSs.
Which are these here? Sonic Fury,
Yeah,
Blue Thunder, and Hydro Yub 2021.
I
What a
got
fucking name.
I got Sonic Fury. That's in the box with in my Action Max. I do have Hydro Sub 20, what does that say, 2021?
Yeah.
That's next year. And then I also have a jet game. So I hadn't played them because the reason is, yeah, I could play it probably on my tube TV in here, but I do not trust VCRs and no more because I had them eat a bunch of my tapes, and God forbid they eat these.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah,
So this picture on the screen is obviously taken from like a top-down angle.
yeah.
Is the console literally flat as a fucking board, or is there like
It's
some kind
pretty.
of weight to it?
It's pretty small. It's flat. It's definitely flat.
Because the way it looks, I don't see where VHS is even fit in the damn thing.
Oh no, you hook this into the VCR.
Oh, okay. So you have to have a VCR. If you don't have a VCR, you're fucked.
Yeah.
I've never
So
heard of this thing, so I'm just seeing it for the first time.
you plug this thing into the VCR. You play the games. The games play the exact same way. If you're doing awesome, you getting all bullseyes, or you miss all of them. All that damn system does, it counts your hits, and that's
So
all it does.
the Action Max seemed really cool. It was also pretty cheap when you consider the cost of consoles at the time. It was also the first console to have completely live action games, as the console was really just a peripheral for your TV and VCR. The games themselves were on VHS tapes, as you said.
And I do want to collect some more. I need to go and get more of those tapes. I had to go on eBay and get some once I get more money.
So, number 8, the Philips CDI.
I never played it. I don't own one. I would love to.
I never played one either. Uh,
I only seen one. Minus going to game conventions, I might have seen them at gaming convention, but there was one looked like exactly like that one at the pawn shop I love going to in Pennsylvania called Nazareth Exchange. They had that one for a little while, and I've been eyeing it, and then I think they were selling it for $500-600. I remember it was. I was like, oh, I'd love to get that, but it's such an oddball thing, and it's kind of out of my price range, especially not any real good games for it.
I mean, you got the three, you got that Zelda trilogy and Hotel Mario.
Yeah,
You
but those are garbage.
got Dark
But
Castle.
But the thing is, this is wasn't even really a gaming system. It was just a special addition to it. It's supposed to be like a music player, almost kind of predecessor to the DVDs. It would play some videos on CDs.
This is the result of what happens when Sony pulls out of the deal with Nintendo, and
Yeah.
they ponied up to Philips, and they get this piece of shit.
Hmm.
uh,
I
the
love how I love how it looks like a VCR as well.
the
I
CDI had its heart in the right place. The intention wasn't actually to make a beefy game console, but to make an all-in-one device that had more functionality than a CD player, that didn't cost as much as computers with CD-ROM drives at the time. If this sounds a bit familiar to you, you might recall the Xbox One gets the one in its name from the fact it was intended to be an affordable all-in-one device. Unfortunately for Philips, they wouldn't see the same kind of success as Microsoft. Perhaps they were just ahead of their time. Or
yeah,
Microsoft could have the one in their name because they don't know how to name their consoles.
yeah. I thought that was the worst name ever. I mean, like before the Xbox One, you when they had the 360 really didn't bother me
No,
because I mean it's just a name. But when you call your third system Xbox One,
when you already had an Xbox One called Xbox.
yeah, now you gotta call it the original Xbox.
Yep. Speaking of, did you hear that Microsoft is going to brand their Series X games as just Xbox games? You know,
Yeah.
because they didn't already do that already. That's
Well,
going to cause some
to,
confusion.
well, yeah, I really think it will. Well, I don't know because I like it better than saying Xbox Series X games. Do you want your Xbox Series X or you want Xbox One? I'd rather say you want Xbox One or Xbox.
Why not just call it Xbox X and be done with it?
I still say that their system, the Xbox One X, is so powerful. It should have been the next generation for itself.
Or you could just be like all the hip kids these days and just call the new console the Sex Box. Because that's what
You
people are
know,
calling it, anyways.
well, you know what? They were not too far from calling it because look about it. You got the Xbox One S, then you got the Xbox X. You're just missing the Xbox E.
Yeah, and that's why this people are calling this one the Xbox Sex. Because
Yeah.
S for series, and then X. Anyways, number 7, the Atari Lynx handheld console, which was the first competition for Nintendo and the Game Boy. And despite having a colored screen, the Game Boy still kicked Atari's ass.
I never played the Lynx. I had the Game Gear and the Game Boy. I honestly I enjoyed the Game Boy better
Yep,
because it
me
had
too.
better game. It had better games. I
Yep.
mean, and the Game Gear had ghosting. So I mean, I eventually gave it to my best friend. I was like, even that during that time, I wasn't a big handheld fan. I mean, I played the Game Boy a ton, but when it became later on, like when the DS, I didn't have any of the GBA games or systems. My wife got me the DS, but this is right after when the 3DS came out, and we had a 3DS, but now we have the new 2DS. So, and I don't even play that one. My mom plays my 2D DS, and I play my Switch.
So, yeah, the Atari Lynx was a handheld console. It was made to compete with the Game Boy, but it lost despite having the the lit up screen and whatnot. I also had a Game Gear along with the Game Boy, and pretty much for me, the reason I didn't care as much for the Game Gear was because pretty much every game that was available on the Game Gear was also
Mm.
playable on the Genesis, except for
Well,
a select few.
you know what? Did you know the Game Gear is actually the same kind of power of the Sega Master System?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, they did. There is a adapter. I don't know if it was something that came out later and after the system died, but there's an adapter that you can play your Sega Master's games on it. The
Uh,
next one I had. Next one, the Commodore Cd Tv. I never played either. That's uh,
Looks like it doesn't know what it wants to be.
it looks like it's. Yeah, I agree. That's a good. It looks like a DVD, CD player with a giant NES controller.
Honestly, if you look at this, right? Here's the CD
Mm,
drive on the left. Here's this big window, probably with like all the words and stuff on the right, and
yeah,
buttons to the right. And look at the CDI. It doesn't it look very similar?
yeah, it does. I agree. That's a good point. And then it was the floppy disk drive on top of that.
You got the mouse, the fucking whack ass controller with a million buttons on it. Then you got another, yeah, you got the floppy drive with another CD on top of it.
God, they do look so familiar. No, look the same, don't they?
Very, yeah, they look very similar.
Oh my god. I mean, this should have probably worked. I mean, because had I guess it was some kind of version of a computer, but when he tried to take on Nintendo, Sega at that time, or even Atari, you don't have a shot in hell.
Well, Atari wasn't too hard to beat, but yeah, the other two, forget about it.
Yeah.
Um, Much like the Philips CDI, the Commodore TV, the CD TV, was supposed to be an all-in-one machine that could single-handedly replace your CD player, game console, and computer. It also had the added bonus of connecting to your TV, as opposed to sitting it on a desk with a monitor. It could be enjoyed by the whole family at the same time.
So it looks like they had that more in mind to do better things than the CDI. I mean, you could actually use this as a computer, while CDI just stream. They did not know what they want to be.
Yeah, I don't even know. Phillips probably should have never just made that. Top five, the fifth worst, the Atari Jaguar.
I love the Jaguar. And you know what the thing is? People shit on the controller. I actually say it's probably their best version of a controller.
Hey, what's up? Two more bottles. Thanks for the follow. I'm not sure if the prompt came up on the screen.
I had
He's naming some Atari games here: Pong, Missile Command, Joust, Defender. What the fuck? I'll give you a follow. Thanks again, bottles. Appreciate it. So you have a little bit of experience with the Jaguar. You actually recently did a video on it because I kind of asked you to on Friday.
well, it was on the list, so why not? I mean, I've been kind of want to been doing the 360 for a little bit because I saw all the crazy shit that goes with it. But Jaguar was one of them I was planning to do.
So
But
far, out of this entire list, I've only had four of the freaking consoles on this list.
I should go when we go back. I count how many I had. But the Jaguar, I enjoyed it. The thing is, it really didn't have a bunch of games that really utilized the power of it. Only a few games did. I mean, and still, they call it a 64-bit system. To me, they had two 32-bit chips. To me, that doesn't equal 64. And you really don't see the same quality like an N64.
Yeah, definitely not.
And they have a bunch of 16-bit games that were ported to it. I mean, like Zool 2, Theme Park, just a
There's
bunch of
Pitfall. Yep, there's Zool
yeah,
2, Pitfall,
yeah,
what you call it?
NBA Jam
NBA
tournament.
Jam, Tempest is on here.
Well,
Wasn't Virtual Racing also on the Jaguar? That was
they
actually a
had
Sega game, I believe, ported
yeah,
to the
that's a
Jaguar.
Sega game, but they had a game almost like it, and Virtual Racing to me looked better, and that's on a Sega Genesis. Wow, this thing's supposed to be a 64-bit system, but I still contest that this controller is not as bad as people says. To me, it's comfortable. There's Android grip. Your fingers does go up to where the control pad is and the action buttons. So, to me, that was their best version of the controller.
Thanks for stopping by there, Bottles. Have a good night.
I didn't see what he wrote.
He was
I
just
have
naming off some games. He said, "Hey, Rose and Casey." And he goes, "Okay, I'm bored." He goes, "Okay, I'm bored now.
bored.
Gaming is not my thing. You guys take care."
No,
Well, gaming's not for everybody, you know.
true. Oh, this is what we do, though. This is our shit.
Yeah, I mean, at least he stopped by for a few minutes.
Yeah.
So the
Now go.
Atari Jaguar was the console that broke Atari, quite literally. It was the system that caused Atari to drop out of the console market and focus on software. The Jaguar
Mhm.
marketed itself as a 64-bit gaming console. At the time, was competing against the 16-bit systems. The 3DO was also on the map at this time, with 32 bits. Obviously, the 3DO wasn't providing much competition for anybody.
You know what? I would say the looks on it. I would say this 3DO probably had more games that seemed more powerful than the Jaguar, if you ask me.
Oh man, that's pretty funny though. Fucking taking a shot at 3DO like that. Number 4, the Nintendo 64 disc drive, which was only ever released in Japan and I think didn't sell that many.
Oh no, but it's crazy. They did make an American one,
But it was
and
never released.
yeah, it wasn't released, but Metal Jesus Rock got one, the American one.
You know, I was
But
always wondering why the bottom of the N64 had those holes in it, and then now you understand why, but because we never got the disc system for the
mm,
64, the console just seems incomplete to us.
well, yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, even though it's more powerful than the PlayStation, but the PlayStation can hold more memory on and yeah, more memory on the CD while not as much on the game cartridge.
Yeah, which is why they made that expansion port for games like
Yeah.
Perfect Dark and Donkey Kong 64, Banjo Kazooie, stuff like that. You literally needed that expansion thing in the slot, otherwise the game wouldn't boot up.
Yeah, and even to get this damn thing right now, it's like $500. So not a chance in hell unless I come into money and get one.
So the N64 DD was intended as a device to bring the 64 itself into the next generation by updating it through ports already on the original console. The disk drive had a lot of great features, which included writable memory, that allowed a user to create movies, their own characters, and animations that could be used in games. This thing was ahead of its time, to be honest.
Yeah.
It also provided the N64 with the ability to access the internet with the intention of selling games through the web and allowing for online gaming. Again, way ahead of its time because the consoles didn't really get into digital gaming sales until 2005.
Not fully true. Um, the television did it as well.
The Intellivision?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think there was a cartridge. It's kind of like a hybrid of like online sale and what was the Sega channel as well. So it's some kind of hybrid.
I
I
did not know
didn't
that.
have it, but I didn't experience it, so I can only relay what I heard about it.
Uh,
But
so Nintendo made 100,000 disk drive units. However, they were only able to sell about 15,000 of them, making this one of Nintendo's biggest failures.
yeah, uh, that's a big failure. It was an add-on. I mean, the, to me, that add-on doesn't count as a failure. I mean, that's like the Sega CD they consider as as a failure. As the best Sega CD was considered the best add-on, and it didn't do great. So
Yeah, I mean, if you're putting add-ons on this list, then you wouldn't. You have to consider the Sega CD and the 32X as not
yeah,
as being failures too, because they didn't do very well.
yeah.
That's why
I
the
mean,
Sega Neptune got canceled because that was supposed to be a standalone 32X.
yeah. So that's pretty much all I got for that.
So you know what? I don't agree with this one now. Yeah, this shouldn't even be on the list.
What, the Neo Geo?
No, the 64 disk drive
Oh,
because it's not a standalone console. It's an add-on.
I agree, but with these lists, um, you're not gonna be always happy about lists like that. So I would let it slide.
So number 3 was the Neo Geo. This one looks like it's the AVS or was that the
Yeah,
MVS?
a a that AES.
Oh, the AES. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big ass controller. Again, I didn't have a Neo Geo. It was too fucking expensive.
Hmm.
The Neo Geo was too damn expensive. There you go. Sums it up right there.
Yeah. Well, the one I bought mine probably 2.5 years ago. Paid like $325. It came with the system and the hookups and the big uh arcade stick. But the guy screwed me because the guy I talked to another guy a couple weeks before. They're like, "Oh yeah, it does come with a game." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I saw the guy when I went to buy it. He was going to reach for the game, then he kind of retracted, like, "Hey, I can make him pay for this." And like, well, honestly, I mean, I didn't like you fucked me, but I only have 5 Neo Geo games, so
Honestly, one thing I have to give the Neo Geo was SNK was a pretty good developer and publisher. They made some pretty good games.
yeah, I really like the Metal Slug games. I
Uh,
really like,
King of Fighters,
and
Fatal Fury, Windjammers was fun.
one of my favorite arcade games is the Super Baseball 2020.
Not familiar with that one.
Uh, Actually, it came out for other systems as well. It came out for the Sega Genesis, came out for the Super Nintendo, but the Neo Geo one is obviously the arcade, almost arcade perfect.
Yeah, so bottom line, this console is too damn expensive. The Neo Geo was marketed as a console that would bring the power of an arcade machine into your home. In its day, onto operated arcade machines had the upper hand on the consoles in terms of graphical capabilities. The Neo Geo marketed itself as a 24-bit console. That's kind of odd, but it
Yeah.
was to put it simply more like a sliding scale of 16 to 32 bit. At the time, it was the single most powerful console on the market. Unfortunately, this kind of power comes with two problems. The first problem was the size. The Neo Geo and its games and its controller were enormous compared to competing consoles. The second
Uh,
issue, go on.
to to me, I call bullshit on that. Who cares what size of the game is and the size of the controller? It was an arcade stick, so I call bullshit on that.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, I guess if you were a little kid in 1990 and you were fortunate enough to have one of these, I could see the arcade stick being too big for your hands. But as
Well,
far as the
it's
console itself, it doesn't look really any bigger than the fucking the Genesis Model 2 was, or the Genesis Model
mm,
1.
yeah, it's about the size of Genesis Model One,
And who cares
and
the
like
size of the cartridges? Big
yeah,
deal.
but if you have the size of the arcade stick as I had, that's meant to either you put it on your lap or on a coffee table. This is more same thing, I guess, with this one they show in the picture as well. But I guarantee you, the second one is definitely the pricing
Yep.
because the games are. If you're lucky, if you get a game for $30, you're lucky. Like I got one of them in here for $30. While they can go from that to hundreds to thousands of dollars.
Yeah, especially in the aftermarket these days.
Yeah,
The second issue was price. In 1990, it was $650. In today's money, that would equate to about $1,000. There
or
weren't
more.
there weren't many homes that were willing to put out $1,000 game console in their living room at the time. Hell, there weren't many homes that would be willing to do that today. You got that right.
Exactly. That's no joke. I
Number
mean,
two, the TurboGrafx 16.
I like the TurboGrafx 16.
Yet again,
Um,
that's another console I didn't have.
I got it later in life. So, uh, I think I got it for a decent price. It kind of had some scratches of the ones I have, but one of the funnier stories is that I have this. Can you slide my camera on real quick?
Yeah, well, let me just zoom you in a little bit so you can see this a little better. Whoop, wrong image. Wrong image. Screen
Was
share,
it
that's what I
porn?
want. No, I
Is
was
it porn?
no, I was trying to resize your thing real quick. Okay, go ahead.
You, you see this stack of games right here? Um, I bought. There's a couple in here that wasn't in this stack, but at the pawn shop in Easton, Pennsylvania, Easton Exchange, uh, they got a lot of them come in. I think it came with the. I'm not 100% sure with the Turbo Graphics as well, but they got the lot, and they were individual price individually, I believe, or probably not. And I guess they didn't think it was going to sell, so they were like, "Well, do you want to pay $100 for the stack?" I was like, "Let me see." It's like, "Hey, if I throw in there, I noticed a couple games already had." So I was like, if I take a couple out, can we do 80? And like, yeah. And I got some really good price ones like Airzonk, a good price one. That's probably the most pricey one I got.
Move that a little bit more to your right there, Casey. You didn't have it really on screen. There you go.
Right there, can you see it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that one right there. But I I got a hell of a deal, and then I got other ones. But I enjoyed the TurboGrafx games. Oh, I'll be right
Yeah, I
back.
mean, I just didn't have the fortunate of having one. That's all.
Oh, I mean, it really didn't do well in America. I think it did okay in Japan, and it was PC Engine in Japan. But it just didn't do well. When especially at the time you have Sega and Nintendo going at each other, and probably you would say the same thing with Atari. So I mean, it's kind of uncommon for some of these for a system like this. But
If you haven't heard of the TurboGrafx 16, there is a really good reason for that. It wasn't marketed very well in North America. It is for this reason that many believe the TurboGrafx 16 has failed. The console was considered a 16-bit player, even though it contained an 8-bit CPU. It even had a pretty strong exclusive character in Bonk of Bonk's Adventure. It was largely the character of Bonk that was used in the ad campaign.
hold on, exclusive? No, that's not true. I mean, it was supposed to be their mascot. Bonk's Adventure was on the NES as well. So,
And number one, I wouldn't say this is the worst and the biggest gaming failure ever.
oh, I
The Wii
agree.
U.
I love my Wii U.
I don't think this is the biggest gaming failure of all time. I
It's the
could
most
name
recent.
it may be the most recent, but it's not the worst. Come on now.
Oh no, the Wii U should not been.
On this list, yes. Number one, absolutely not.
I agree. I mean, to me, I love my Wii U. Oh my.
I mean, when you think of other consoles like the Apple Pippin, the
Mm,
N-Gage, the fucking Hyperscan, none of those weren't even on the list.
well, the list I showed you, the ones from Wikipedia had those.
Yeah, that one also had every single failure. That's why I just wanted to get like a list of the top what like the top ones.
And
But
yeah, there was some of them where it was like, oh, a bunch of them would be like, well, I never played, never owned it.
so the Wii U, I don't really think we have to read the description for this. We know why it failed. Nintendo didn't market it very well. People were confused about it because of the name. A lot of people thought it was just an add-on for the Wii, which
Mm.
realistically they could have just made it an add-on for the Wii, but they made it its own console. Um,
Well, it was already 6 years. I mean, when the Wii came out in 2006, and it was 6 years later, they needed a new system.
yeah.
I mean, they beat the Xbox and the PlayStation a year before, but right now Nintendo's just playing uh, with their own rules. They don't care what Xbox and PlayStation is doing.
No, they just want to be, their own company. They collaborate. They collaborated with Xbox. That's how they got Banjo and Smash.
Yeah,
So,
and did you know that on the Switch just dropped today? Donkey Kong Country's on the Switch.
yes, we actually talked about that last Friday. As of today, Donkey Kong Country, The Immortal, and Natsume Championship Wrestling are available to play on the Switch Virtual Console.
Yeah, I'm like, to me, like, and it's Donkey Kong Country was a rare title.
Right, but
So
I think because even though Rare developed it,
yeah,
Nintendo owned the license because it was their characters.
yeah, true, but uh,
That's why when we got Rare Replay, you didn't see
yeah,
Donkey Kong anything. You didn't see Diddy
no,
Kong Racing on
no.
Rare Replay. You didn't see GoldenEye 007 because those were
Well,
all
no,
published by Nintendo, even though Rare made
well,
them.
well, the thing is with 007, GoldenEye, not only couldn't get the Nintendo rights, they would have to go with MGM and try to get the Bond rights as well. And knowing the movie industry, once that license expired, it's just a bitch to get that license again.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, man, with the Wii U, we know it was marketed terribly. People were confused about it. A lot of people thought it was just an add-on for the Wii. So when a lot of kids asked for a Wii U, they actually got a Wii, or they
That's
got
fine.
nothing.
Well, how did you like your Wii U?
I mean, it had some pretty good games. You know, when I had my Wii U, I was playing Super Mario 3D World. I thought that game was awesome. I
Yes,
played Smash Bros for Wii U, of course. I have the Smash belt on my wall, as you've seen.
I
Um,
need I need to get my belt out. Oh, yeah, is that your belt since you reclaimed the championship?
yeah, that's the belt I used to represent the Cards Against Humanity title. um,
But I just remembered about that.
what else?
But
The Wii U. I played Pokken Tournament, which was like a 3D version of like Tekken with Pokemon. I thought as a
yeah.
fighting game it was decent, but it could have been much better. Super Mario Maker was awesome. Uh,
Oh, I love Mario Maker.
I
I enjoyed the first one. Really hadn't played much of the second
I mean, if you
because,
enjoyed the first one, I think you'll like the second one even better because there's more stage gimmicks in it.
yeah, but the thing is, I'm kind of, you know how you have writer's block?
Yeah.
Well, you kind of get creator's block as well. So, and I used a lot of my brain power in the first one, and I don't know if there's anything else in there to create.
Well, if you ever do, I'll play your stages because I have Mario Maker too.
I have a bunch of them on the Mario Maker 1, but
I also played Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on the Wii U. I thought that game was
oh,
excellent.
that's, yeah.
And I played Hyrule Warriors on there, which I also played again on the Switch. I thought that was also a fun game for what it was.
What about Yoshi's Woolly World?
Yeah, I love that too. Yep,
Oh, I
loved it.
love that. I love that one more than Crafted World, but Crafted World had better controls.
So that is the list, Casey. Top 15 console failures of all time. So before we end this podcast, I want to ask you: did you see Raw on Monday night?
Very small bit of it. I tried. Why?
Did you see the commercial for the new wrestling game?
Oh yeah, I seen the commercial for that.
What do you think?
I don't know. I don't think I'm getting it. Maybe depends on pricing, and I don't know which system I'm gonna get it. Usually, I like to get my games for the Switch. But after I got burned with the 2K version on the Switch, I'm kind of leery about doing it.
Well, this one's obviously a lot more cartoony and arcadey and unrealistic and
And
wacky
I don't.
and goofy. And this is the first time in 9 years we're actually getting a wrestling game uh,
There's
that's not
not.
a traditional like wrestling game.
like not 2K. I mean, 2K did a shit job on 2K20.
Well, I mean, 2K's making this one too, but this one is it's more arcadey, it's goofy, it's silly. Like, if did you ever play WWE All Stars back in like 2011 when that came out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
this
you know,
one's more like that, only goofier.
yeah, even more goofier. T- if you're young, if you're a child, I think that's not bad. If you're also a wrestling fan, but to me, I enjoy the traditional ones, but they really need to step their game
Well,
up.
I'll put it this way: after that disaster that was 2K20, they needed a break from the traditional wrestling games.
Well, they really need to do something different. I mean, they keep reusing the same engine over and over and over
Yeah,
and
and
over.
this will give them time to make a new engine, hopefully.
Yeah, but no, I try to watch Monday Night Raw. It's hard to watch taped wrestling, especially taped WWE wrestling.
Yeah, I was just asking you if you watched Raw because they showed the commercial for the game during Raw, so I was wondering if you've seen it.
I only watched like the first part of Raw, and then I felt there was a couple good parts, but I'm probably gonna go back and watch AEW tonight.
AEW
Or
was pretty decent tonight. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to talk to you about, and I don't remember what it is. Oh, that's wonderful. But yeah, I think that's it for the podcast. This is our first live episode. Once I get a webcam for my
Mhm.
computer, eventually we'll make things look better than you know what we are.
And hopefully we get some more game news.
Yeah, this week was pretty weak so far on the news.
Well, everything's still kind of like in standstill because the whole coronavirus. I mean,
Um,
like
are you gonna call into Jake's charity stream on Saturday?
uh, probably I'm not sure.
Because he's gonna
Uh,
be streaming all day. He said so, from
oh
three
yeah,
p.m. From 3 p.m. Eastern to 1 a.m. Eastern. So he's going for like 9 or 10 hours.
and he says this Saturday, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure, why not?
because I know, like you said, Saturdays you spend with the girlfriend and you're doing other things. So,
Yeah.
because I'm gonna try to call in too and hang out on the stream for a little while. Because the last time he did it 2 years ago, I tried to get
Mm.
on and I couldn't get Skype to work and I got pissed off.
What
So
is he gonna do?
he's
Is
playing.
he?
He's going to be playing games. It's for Extra Life, the charity
Oh.
organization. He's going to be raising money. Playing
Mm.
games. A lot of other JCS Army people are going to be there. Going to
Yeah.
be calling in and stuff. I'm going to try to be calling in, hanging out with Jake for a little while. He's going to be playing games, talking about games. It's going to be a good day. I'm actually looking forward to seeing his stream this year because he hasn't done it. This is the first time in 3 years that he's done it because the last couple of years, with all his medical issues, he just hasn't been able to do it.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, the guy just can't catch a break.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Like it's always something. It was like, damn, man. Like, I remember. Oh, I guess when his surgeries, I guess on his intestines or something, when he had his show his stomach, it looked like he's been shot because they stitched all the spots where they surgically worked on him. It's just like, wow. I feel bad for the guy. I mean, he's such a good guy.
But yeah, man, I wanted to keep this podcast under 2 hours, and we went over by about 13, well, about 14 minutes.
Well, when we start talking about video games, especially if there's news or something, or you get, if we get something, it's like, oh, I got a story for this. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, so I think we did pretty good tonight. I think we'll call it a night and see where it goes next week when we can convene next week.
Hopefully, Hopefully, we get some game news. Hopefully, a Nintendo Direct. I'm hoping it's true about the Mario collections. I mean, to me, I think there's a high chance of it happening now.
On July 23rd, you have to work, right? So you're gonna miss the Xbox presentation.
What day is that? Trying.
That's a Thursday.
Yeah, I'll be working. At what time does it come on?
It's supposed to start at 12 Eastern, so right in the middle
Yeah,
of the day.
yeah, I'll be working.
Because I was thinking about going live on Twitch and because shows stuff like that, like those conferences
Hmm.
and stuff, those are
Yeah,
supposed to be like royalty free, so I could put it up on the screen and commentate over it and do live reactions and stuff. So I was thinking of doing that, but I'm not too sure yet if I am.
yeah. This last week plus today. No, not today. This week. Uh, I caught a nasty bug.
Did you? Oh yeah,
Stomach.
that's what I wanted to ask you. Did you ever find out the results of those tests yet?
Yeah, it's called. Uh, it's a sickness called C. diff.
Oh, C. diff. I've heard of that.
So I got it from my mom. It's just she got it several times before, and I never caught it. But it was just something was bothering my stomach. I usually I'll get some stomach upset, but I would never think about it too much. But then it was just like 5 days in a row. Now it's a full week, and Monday I took complete off because I had to go to a doc. I had a doctor appointment right in the middle of the day.
Oh
I hate
shit.
I hate when that happens because I need to work.
Well,
And
can't
then
you just take
also,
a half a day when something like that happens?
well, actually, I took the last full day of pay, split them in half on Wednesday. On one of the stomach was really bad, and it was also as the heat was ramping up. And then Friday, I missed a half a day because stomach was acting up, and also it was pouring rain. And then Monday I had the appointment. And didn't I'm gonna try to cover some hours on this Saturday,
Yeah,
but
man. Got to make that money somehow, right?
yeah, or just take a hit. I'll probably work Saturday, but like even a half day. If I can at least get half that day back, I'll be happy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you could take a half a day, it's better
Yeah,
than losing a full day's pay.
yeah, and God, it just sucks because uh, I've been taking a ton of Pepto. I did not know that causes you to be kind of constipated a little bit. So I had to do. Now I'm to gross you out. I had to get poop samples to bring to them. So I did it. I barely could get samples. Put them in the vials and send them to the doctor before my doctor's appointment. And then afterwards, I came back. I was going to do a. I was going to do the thing with you. Oh
Which,
no, no, that's when I got the blood uh, test and also get the poop sample dish deal and the vials, and then Sunday, I think Monday I got samples all day. I had to do it twice, and that was freaking fun. Messing with your poop.
why not? Duke Nukem likes to play with poop, so
Yeah, but at least these vials come with some kind of fork or something. I had to use like some kind of wood tongue, whatever, to break it up and put it in vials. And my mom was like, "I think you might have caught C. diff from me," and I wasn't 100% sure, and then I was starting to blame him. Like, yeah, it's possible because it was like 5 days in a row, and then it was confirmed yesterday. So,
Oh man, hopefully you feel better soon and nothing gets worse over there. And
well,
go on.
well when I'm working, uh, it's not as bad unless I start slowing down and waiting for something to do. Then my stomach will ramp up.
Uh,
So, so it's not been a fun week.
well, guys, on that note, I think we'll call it a night. So thanks everybody who came in to watch tonight. Again, thank you to Two More Bottles and RJB for the follows on Twitch. My apologies if the alerts didn't work properly. I have to figure that out another time. But until next time, guys, check me out on Twitter as well as YouTube. This podcast will be on YouTube in edited form because it's in two parts now. So I got to splice it together. And yeah, that'll be up within the next day or two. Check out my Pokemon fan game Let's Play called Pokemon Green Remix. I have two parts of that up right now. And check out my friends and partners. My friend Erin Fitzgerald, the voice actress, she is on Twitter at Erin Fitzgerald. She is on Twitch, also at Erin Fitzgerald. Check out, of course, Derailed Podcast every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Casey is Raw at Casey is Raw on
On
Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube.
Yep. And right after this, I'll have two videos loading up. I did a quick pickup. I was able to do it in just amount of time to put on the Twitter. That'd be easy fit upload on YouTube. And then I did my 360 review today. So that's what sparked that. Comparing between the Sega and Xbox 360 deal.
Real quick before we end, let's see if there's an update to that.
Yeah, why not?
Let me see. Let me go to you, Casey. Hey, look at that. If I start typing your name, you're the second person that comes up. La 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 la. We You have 9 votes now, and your ninth voter also went Sega Genesis.
It doesn't shock me. But I mean, because probably if I pulled the HD DVD out of its box, maybe that would help convert coherence that a little bit more. But if I also had that Sega Master System add-on, that would have been a wrap. Obviously, that would have been a wrap for the
Right.
Genesis. But I just thought it was kind of cool to do a quick compare them.
Well, by the time this is up on YouTube, Casey's videos will be on his YouTube channel, so check him out. Again, look up Casey is Raw on YouTube. He's got 49 or 50 subscribers right now, so if you find him and you like the kind of videos he makes, give him a subscribe or whatnot. And again, check out my voice actress friend. Check out Derailed Podcast. All the links on YouTube will be in the description box underneath the video, as always. So until next time, guys, for Casey is Raw, my name is The Rose, and thanks for watching, and we'll catch your ass down the road.